everybody. Come on, everybody. Hey there, it's Matt Haywood from EntertainmentBuddha.com. Finally back on the airwaves for a brand new BuddhaCast episode. This week, we're going to be talking all things Master Chief and Interstellar. So the cast is appropriately titled The Master Chief is Interstellar. Tonight I'm joined by our lovely lady contributor down in Florida, Anna Febzilla. How you doing, Anna?
Happy to be back.
I know, it's been a while. I mean, we got pretty good at doing bi-weekly, and then the summer hit, and careers hit, and life hit, and we've kind of been scattered. We've lost our two partners in Ten Bensons and the Wu-Tang Clan, but one of these days we'll try to get everyone back on the cast. But we'll be holding it down for you folks. Thanks again. As always, we appreciate your loyalty, your ears, your listening, your eardrums, whatever you can offer to us. We love you for it. So let's get right into it. Today was the day that marked the lifting of the embargo for Halo the Master Chief Collection reviews, which I have provided for you to consume, read, enjoy, and become informed about what I'm calling easily the best value in gaming of 2014, if not of all time. And quite frankly, it has potential to be in Game of the Year talks here in another couple of weeks. So for those of you that are uninformed, Halo the Master Chief Collection was put together by 343 Industries, who we know took over the reins of the Halo franchise from Bungie, what seems like many years ago at this point. So what they did, to me, it's a love letter to Halo fans. I mean, it's really a love letter to the gamers. I'm going to step out on a limb and say that. They took the 4 proper Halo games, and by proper, I mean those that just focused on the Master motherfucking Chief, okay? Not ODST, not Reach, not Halo Wars, not Spartan Assault. Not that those games are bad, but they didn't deal with our buddy John 117. You know what I mean? So what they did, they took all these games. So Halo Combat Evolved, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4. They put them all into one package and created the Master Chief Collection. Now within this package, not only do you get all these games, but they've all been remastered in 1080p with 60 FPS. More on that later, because the 60 FPS is literally a game changer for Halo. But they also included every single, and I'm talking about every single multiplayer map released between those 4 games. So there's well over 100 multiplayer maps to choose from. A few new ones, a few classic ones that you may have never seen if you didn't play Halo CE on the PC. It's just mind-boggling the amount of content they infused into this disc. What's even more insane to behold are the visual upgrades to Halo 2. So for all intents and purposes, think of the Master Chief Collection as all the other games, they're kind of a supporting cast to show off Halo 2 Anniversary. So what happened here? Well, 343, they reskinned the entire game. Gave it nice shiny visuals, redid all the audio. You can switch back and forth between old and new to just see how vast the differences are. But the real gem that they infused in the Halo 2 Anniversary are the cutscenes. So those of you, and did you ever hear of Blur Studios? Have you ever heard of them or seen any other of their work by chance? Uh-oh, did we lose Anna?
I'm back.
Oh, there she is.
Happens every single time.
What happened?
It just kind of, I get like a white noise, and then I don't hear anything, and then it just starts calling again. And it never fails during every single podcast. So I just always hope.
It's your trademark. It's the poltergeist or
probably.
Something. Yeah. If you saw Interstellar, I could make an inside joke and you would get it, but it would make no sense to anyone right now. But anyways, I don't know if you heard me, but before you dropped out, I was kind of talking about what 343 did with Halo 2 Anniversary as far as like the campaign visuals and audio and how you can toggle back and forth. But I was leading into the most impressive upgrade are the cutscenes or the cinematics.
I saw those cutscenes and holy shit. Like, oh
yeah, right?
my God. Like, I mean, like, you're right. It's like what 343 has done with Halo is been amazing. I know people were worried because it was Bungie's baby and what were they going to do next? And
well, look what Bungie did with their free time.
Yeah.
They created a game called Destiny.
With zero loot. Anyways, never letting that one go. But I've been very pleased with what they've done. And I think Halo 4 was a perfect example of what they could do and
totally.
where they could go, and just them upgrading everything, like, the graphics, the sound, everything in all 4 Halo games.
Oh, and some of the sound, I mean, sometimes the sound that they've created, the new sounds, it's even more impressive than the visuals.
I was watching the streams that you were doing, and then I watched some of the Let's Play videos, and I put my headphones on, and I was blown away. I was like, is Tuesday here already? Because I really just want to play this. I really do.
That's what everyone in the stream, I've been streaming for the past 2 weeks because Microsoft, I don't know if I talked about the last time, but their review process now has actually gotten pretty cool for creators like us. They'll release the game digitally early. We get in, we can unlock it. But then they start opening up embargo windows to stream content and do direct feed footage. So we've been able to get these games early and show them off and get them on Twitch and have people come and watch and play with us. And it was a blast doing it with Halo Master Chief Collection because, a lot of people were like you, they're watching it. And I think they might have been like, yeah, whatever. I've played these games before, blah, blah, blah. And then they see it. And then in particular, they see Blur Studios cutscenes or the cinematics for Halo 2 Anniversary. And it's like a collective, holy shit. Are you kidding me? Look at this.
I mean, like, and and people, I mean, I've seen some, of course, negative comments on the internet that it's, how can anyone review this game and give it a high score? I mean, these are games that have come out. Yeah, they are games that have come out, but it's not the story per se that's being reviewed. It's the sound, the graphics, the content alone, all the maps, like what they did, whatever they've done with multiplayer to, upgrade those maps. Like that's what's being reviewed. And not only that, but for $60, like I still can't get over that.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say everyone had to get, I mean, I gave it a perfect score. And there's some outlets coming out today getting on Twitter going, we're holding back our Halo reviews until matchmaking is ready. And yeah, sure, matchmaking is not functioning right now, but you can still check out all the content. You can still get into multiplayer and check out the maps, and you can schedule times with 343 and play them. And quite frankly, and people are either going to disagree or agree with me, but I would have gave it a perfect score just based on the campaign content. Okay, because we're talking about Halo CE Anniversary, remade visuals from the 360. Now they look even better. The Halo 2 Anniversary, I've already been sitting there gushing over it and basically sucking its dick if it had one. But it's insane what they did to it. And like I said, what Blur did to those cinematics, they are the best looking cinematics I've seen on, I guess, what we should be calling the current gen consoles now. I'm talking PS4 and Xbox One.
It's beautiful. It really is. Just some of the most beautiful images, videos, everything that I've seen in my history of playing games.
It's a 10-year-old game.
Right.
It's a 10-year-old game. And if anything, these Blur cinematics just kind of chap my ass even more over the fact that we can't get a proper Halo film done. I don't care if it's animated, CGI, or live action. I mean, there's so much lore to this universe, people, that is worth watching. I mean, there's so many deep stories to tell in Halo now. And I can't really go into it too much, but there are special cutscenes now for Halo 2 Anniversary that help to tie the original trilogy back into the new trilogy. There's a cutscene there with Agent Locke at the beginning, and he's talking to someone that we all know and may love or may not love from the early Halo games. And it's just great how they kind of rebranded the story almost to kind of just show, all right, how the events in Halo 2 have led to this meeting with Agent Locke and how it could lead to what's going to happen in Halo 5.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting, and I'm gonna play all the campaigns, of course, back to back. I don't know if I'll do Lasso, but I'll try. Not by myself. I mean,
Well, here's the one. The other thing. So right off the bat, all missions are unlocked. All multiplayer armor's unlocked. The only thing you actually have to unlock are these new avatars. I think there's 108 of them.
Yeah.
And then nameplates for your gamer tag. So there's I think 38 bits of armor in Halo 4, all ready to go.
Nice.
There's 13 in Halo 3, all ready to go. There's probably 3 or 4 in Halo 2, all ready to go. So, I mean, you can do what you want. You can play how you want. You don't have to start at Halo 1, start on Mission 1, and go all the way to the end. There's new campaign playlists.
That's
so what Anna's talking about, she's going to go boss style, and she's going to do the Legendary Master Chief playthrough, which has all of these skulls turned on Legendary for all 45 missions from Halo 1 to Halo 4. So when you're done with that, Anna, you let us know how that went and how many achievements you garnered by playing through that.
Yeah, I mean, if I haven't been achievement hunting for maybe about a year and a half, almost 2 years
I kind of retired my whoredom as well. It's kind of sad, but
Master Chief Collection, you just might bring me back. I mean,
there's going to be 450 achievements.
If I can get all 450 achievements, like, that's
good luck.
Like,
I literally think some of them are beat the campaign in 3 hours.
Holy shit. Yeah, can I put it
and
on
then
easy?
then like I said, then with all the playlists, there's in each campaign playlist there's a lasso run. Those of you that know Lasso, that's all skulls legendary.
Yeah.
It's an ass kick.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even finish Halo 4 on Legendary by myself because I got really annoyed. Got really pissed off at the Promethean Knights, and I said, fuck you.
They suck, and it's not even them. It's those stupid-ass things that fly up above them and heal them and kind of regenerate them and give them shields and spawn other enemies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've made it a point. I've played all Halos on Legendary by myself. I've beaten them, even though people on Twitch think I'm a pussy, because when I was streaming, I was playing on easy. Because why the hell do I really want to be talking to a couple hundred people, not really paying attention to the game,
right?
Playing Legendary and just dying over and over. Right. I mean, it has nothing to do with skill. I'm streaming to have fun.
Right.
I've done it. I have the achievements. If you really want to go look, Hammer of Buddha, they're there. I've got the legendaries. And I really do think Halos should be played on Legendary, but not in a stream setting where you're just kind of showing stuff off.
I mean, like, every game has their, like, hard and hardcore, or, if you're playing Call of Duty.
Yeah, COD Veteran. I'm looking forward to do it because I look forward to my Veteran playthrough every November, so I'm excited. But,
I mean, like, Halo Legendary just doesn't compare to the level of difficulty in some of the other games.
It's tough. It is a true challenge. I mean, I don't think it's a challenge of how well you can shoot a gun, but yeah, it's a challenge of your strategies, your abilities to dodge and hide and get away and outsmart the AI.
Yep.
Now, some of the Call of Duty veterans were ass kicks. There's no doubt about it. COD 2, the first one on 360, that was an ass kick. COD 3 was an ass kick. 4 wasn't that bad. 5 was an ass kick, and then they got a little bit easier after that. But I can remember a few COD veteran run-throughs where I honestly contemplated, was I really spending my time wisely? Or, was I going to end up having a stroke over this damn video game? But anyways, back to Master Chief Collection. So you got the 4 campaigns. 2 of them are remade. Halo 3 and Halo 4 didn't get the massive visual upgrades, but they're still in 1080p, 60 FPS, as well as they can now take advantage of the Xbox One's power for, lighting, particle effects, the environments. So even when you see those games, you're going to go, holy shit, that looks really good. I mean, Halo 3 looks really, really great. And they didn't change really anything. They just made it look more crisp and added the 60 FPS and 1080p visuals.
So with this game then, would you say that maybe we're seeing the potential of what the Xbox One can do?
Halo 4 is easily an early look at what Halo can look like on a next-gen console. And we're talking about a game that was designed for the 360. So think on that a little bit and then just imagine what Halo 5 could be. Because Halo 4 and the Halo MCC collection, well, that's what I'm calling it, Halo MCC if I refer to it. Speaking about the Master Chief collection. But anyways, it's amazing. I mean, it looks like a next-gen game. It looks like one of the best-looking next-gen games, in fact, and it's actually a last-gen game from 2 years ago. So yes, there's you play Halo 4, and you're going to have a very good idea of what you'll be seeing when Halo 5 drops. But even, like I said, even Halo 3 is amazing looking. And what it is I don't think people truly understand what 60 frames per second can do for a game like Halo.
Yeah. I
mean, we're talking not a single frame rate lag, no frame rate skips. It's smooth as silk, looking back and forth. I mean, this is how FPSs should be made, and this is how Halo should have been played since 2001. We just didn't have the technology to do it on a console. So it is. I mean, it's really that 60 FPS even takes 3 and 4 and makes them look almost as if they were designed for the Xbox One. The only time in Halo 3 where you're like, yeah, this is a 2007 game is some of the cutscenes that aren't cinematic, but rather they just kind of use the game engine to do them, which is still something you should applaud. I mean, anytime you can use the game engine to actually look like it's doing some sort of cutscene, that's impressive. But I mean, it's great. It's just great. And then the multiplayer, like I said, I mean, you have over 100 maps.
That multiplayer, I told my husband, I've told my friends, I've told anybody who has ears that will listen to me. I'm like, after November 11th, I'm peacing the fuck out because my social life is over. Thank you, Master Chief Collection.
Yeah, like, and it can do that. And here's what I'm going to tell you. Now, I'm kind of an elder statesman of geekery at this point in time, up here at 34 years old. My first experience with Halo was when I was in college. Unlike most people watching the stream, and some of them weren't even born yet. But yeah, I played it in college, and I'll never forget Halo Combat Evolved when I first saw that on the original Xbox. And then, our roommates, we would hook these things together with LAN cables and play on a little TV with little 4 squares.
You too. I did that too.
Like, that you can do that in the Master Chief Collection. Halo 1 and Halo 2, the original multiplayer maps are all there.
Oh,
and they're still in the old school visuals too. Yeah, you get 1080p and 60 FPS. But you go to Battle Creek in Halo CE, it looks like Battle Creek. You got Sidewinder, you got Midship, you got Lockdown. I mean, it's everything you loved about 2001 Halo and 2004 Halo, you can relive.
I was gonna say Battle Creek, Hang'em High, and Ascension.
Yeah,
those were my motherfucking maps.
Yeah, like, unbelievable.
I mean, destroyed on those maps.
And that is what I was telling people in the stream. I'm like, listen, I will be spending most of my multiplayer time in Halo 1 and Halo 2 Classic.
Oh, hell.
I don't care about the upped visuals because the nostalgia factor alone is worth playing through those. And honestly, it still uses the same game engine. So for people like me that have really started to suck at online multiplayer and these new modern engines that are all about speed and twitchiness, I feel like I might have a chance to be competitive again. So, selfishly, I'm going to stay in 1 and 2. Plus, a lot of people on the streams, another thing, just kept throwing at me like, do the moon jump, do this, do that, and all these old glitches from Halo 2. And I never got into the glitches, not that I'm against glitching, but I just never cared to learn them. And all those are still in the classic multiplayer as well.
I saw that in the chat. They were talking about that. I never did any of the glitches. I just played with my friends. And that was it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, people, I forget the name of the map now, but it was in Halo 2. People would figure out how to get out of it, sort of, like kind of up high in one of the buildings. It was like in a city setting. and they get up out of the map with like a sniper and just take everyone out. And supposedly some of those exploits were left in on purpose. Now there is a new take on Halo 2 multiplayer as well. There's also Halo 2 Anniversary multiplayer, where you have 6 maps that are re-envisioned versions of some of the more popular maps from Halo 2. So, you got like Bloodline, then you have the coagulation modifier on it.
Oh, wow.
There's, I believe, a remade Lockdown. And when you go on those maps and you see the updated visuals, then it's like, Jesus. Again, you go, wow, 343. What the hell have you been smoking over there?
Yeah.
I mean, they got like some magic pixie dust right now.
I don't know how long ago this was, but for the site, I rated the best Halo maps, and I probably only picked 5 of them. But if you go to entertainmentbuddha.com and you search Halo or Halo multiplayer, you'll find my list, and you'll find most of them are compiled from Halo 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Because after that, I
loved them all. I mean,
fun.
Halo multiplayer to me is still the best. I mean, I don't know. It might not be the best if you consider the best is who has the most players in it. I think that's probably still COD, but it's fun, and I feel like I have a chance. Where in some of these other games, I feel like I have no shot.
Call of Duty multiplayer, I never play that because that. I mean, and it could be lack of skill. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the best, but I just feel like I take one step outside of wherever I spawned, and I die.
Yeah, I gave up COD after number 4. I played the living shit out of that one, Prestige all the way up to the Gold Cross, and again, it's probably waning skill and lack of time to practice and really play these multiplayer games. But the Halos, I always had fun.
Yeah.
And I had fun just, getting in them and running around with the few people that were on during the review period. I mean, it's just, there's something about Halo multiplayer, and now you're going to have a shit ton of it in the Master Chief Collection. And you can do playlists based on game types. You can do playlists that are cross games. So you could potentially do Team Slayer in a Halo 1 match, and then in Halo 3 the next. It's insane.
I mean, I'm excited for this collection. I mean, yeah, it's a great value, and you get the 4 games and you get all the multiplayer, but there's just this feeling of nostalgia and what like Halo 1 and 2 just did for me as far as gaming is concerned. Just holds there's a very special place in my heart.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because I was into video games, but I mean, being a girl, I always played the more, friendlier ones and never really,
Oh, we know you were playing the Barbie games and all that fun stuff, right?
Yeah. No.
You could never have a girl that actually plays a shooter.
Well, I mean, growing up, I played my fair share of Mortal Kombat, but I mean, a majority of the games that I played, like Earthworm Jim, a lot of Lion King, Aladdin, Jungle Book, like a lot of the Disney games. That's what I played.
Well, you are Queen Disney. There's no doubt about that.
I am. I'm not gonna lie on that. But I played a lot more of the kid friendlier games, and I mean, it was just my mom had realized early on, well, if she's gonna be into video games, I would rather just her play the age appropriate ones and not have her play the really violent ones just yet. So as I got older, I started to play, like the more violent ones, but
yeah, I just tricked my mom. I was like, hey, I want to go to the mall and I want to spend some time in the arcade, and I'd go there with a $10 wad of quarters and just sit there and line up my quarters on the Mortal Kombat cabinet. Because, I mean, really, that was the first interactive. It was almost like the first competitive gaming. There's some of you, they probably don't even know what an arcade is now at this point, but
I miss arcades.
These big cabinets, like especially Mortal Kombat or fighting games, whoever won would stay on, and then the loser or the challengers, they'd put their quarters up basically saying, dibs, I got next. And if you won, you kept playing. If you lost, you'd have to get back and try to get back on the top of the mountain. And Yeah, so I spent my childhood watching people's spinal columns get ripped out and heads punched off and flame kills. But
Yeah, I tried to do all the fatalities that I could possibly do, like every which one that however many 3 they got, which was what, a fatality, there was an animal one.
yeah, once it went to Mortal Kombat 2, you had the friendships, the babalities, the animalities, and then they each had 2 fatalities, I think.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I would always do all of that, but like early on, when I started working, I worked at GameStop. I was training to be a manager. So
you did a tour of duty at a GameStop?
Did I? What?
You did a tour of duty at GameStop?
I did.
Wow. I mean, I've always heard that it's almost like a nightmare to work there.
Yeah, it is for the most part. You're really like underpaid.
Yeah, they don't pay you, and hours are terrible.
Yeah, just like what they expect of you is like they want you to give above and beyond work, and that's fine, but the pay was not worth it. And like where I started working at GameStop was here in Orlando, Florida, and where the stores that they had me work at were tourist traps. So they purposely sent me to the ones that had the most tourists because I was bilingual. So they're like, well, if she speaks Spanish, then she speaks Portuguese. Fun fact, Spanish and Portuguese, I can't even say it anymore.
That makes sense. We know what you're talking about.
Spanish,
sounds like sausage.
Right. They're not the same. They're not the same language, and I will not understand someone that's speaking Portuguese to me.
I can't even usually understand when someone's speaking English at me, so I give you credit that you are bilingual. I mean, I got Hola and Cinco and De Mayo down, all that stuff. But
you've got the important stuff down.
Or cerveza.
Yep, there you go. You got beer.
Enchilada.
There you go. That's
burrito.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where I was at, and that's where I really started to get into Halo, because I was working at GameStop, and when you work there, at least one of the perks is you can check out a game for 5 days. So I got to play a shit ton of games, and the minute that I played Halo, like that's it. My life was done, over, no social life. And then once I found a group of friends that actually wanted to play Halo, that's it, because I would just spend so many drunken nights. Like, obviously I would have someone carry the TV for me, but I would be moving my TV in my car, made sure that I had my little Ethernet over to our friend's house, plopped the TV down, hooked up Ethernet to LAN, and then there it was like 16 of us, and we're just yelling and screaming and jumping in front of each other's screens just because.
Oh yeah, screen cheating. Yeah, you'd look at other people's screens, or like if you were dead, you'd call out people's locations, like, you cheater. That was the best on Capture the Flag matches. Especially in Halo CE Sidewinder, that snow map. I love that one for Capture the Flag. It was one of my favorites. But it really is, people. I mean, I think younger generations may not appreciate what this Master Chief Collection is as much as someone like me that, obviously grew up in the 80s and 90s. I was in college in early 2000s. So I was a little bit older when it came out, and I've kind of seen the series progress from Combat Evolve up to Halo 4 and now going on to Halo 5. So I've seen the gameplay changes, the visual changes, audio, all the tweaks that have been made. And it's just really great to be able to go to one disc, throw it in, and relive all of that, and just see the progression of the Halo formula get better and better from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. We had the dual wielding added in 2, and then gadgets added in 3. It just, you can see how this franchise has grown. And it's just great. I mean, I'm telling you, the classic stuff is fantastic. The remastered stuff is fantastic. There's just, and I said it earlier in the cast, Yeah, matchmaking's not out. Yes, I put out a review. Yes, I gave it a perfect score. And I stand by that. I would give the campaign a perfect score if it was just a campaign. I mean, it's really impeccable work by 343. It's a great video game, great value. I just don't know how anyone could rate it even under an 8. I mean, okay, I think 8's even a little bit low, but if you're going under 8, you're just looking for clickbait, or you're just trying to be controversial.
Right. I mean, I'm not that I'm biased or anything, but yeah, I mean, if you give it an 8, you're crazy. Like,
yeah,
just
reviews are opinions, so everyone's entitled to them, just like I'm entitled to give it a perfect score. But I really, unless you have a disdain in the very essence of your soul over the Halo franchise, I don't know how you can't sit there and go, wow, this is some amazing stuff.
Yeah, I'm just pumped for Tuesday. I mean, again, I took a day off from work. I mean, I am a working woman. I do have a career, but for Halo and for Assassin's Creed, and if another Gears of War ever comes out,
oh hell yeah, I'm right there with you, sisters. No doubt.
I will be taking a day off. I will go to a midnight release. I will subject myself to the torture that is a midnight release.
Are you gonna do midnights then for tomorrow or Monday?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm going, and I'm actually getting what is it? Rogue. I'm getting Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Holy hell, you're like backing up the Brinks truck here.
Yeah. I don't. When it comes
GameSpot will like when they see you show up with that wad of cash.
When it comes to Assassin's Creed and Halo, I do not play around in Gears of War. Like those probably more so Assassin's Creed and Gears are. So
speaking of Gears and the Master Chief collection, do you think there will be a Marcus Phoenix collection for Gears of War?
They would be stupid enough not to. I think.
Right? I mean, I would, as long as they put the care into it that 343 did with the MCC, it would be another one. Like, I wouldn't know how you could fault it unless it was just completely broken.
Right, exactly. I mean, I think if this collection, which I believe will be as successful as they are anticipating it to be, I would not be surprised if maybe some other studios follow what they're doing. Because again, if they see that something is bringing in the money, then they'll go for it. But again,
of course,
you have to put in the time and
that's the problem, though. I mean, I don't want people just, oh, hey, look, Master Chief Collection, it's getting 10s and it's just old games retread. I mean, it really isn't. That's the point. Yeah. It's not old games retread. I mean, they're, to me, almost all brand new games with the 1080p and 60 FPS. You have not experienced any of these games with that high fidelity visuals, sound, and frame rate yet. And not to mention, we haven't even talked about the extras. All right, so if you get this, you get the Halo 5 multiplayer beta, which lasts for almost a month starting at the end of December. You get the Nightfall TV shows for Halo Nightfall. You get access to all the behind the scenes videos, and then you can watch all of Blur's cutscenes, one by one versus playing the game and seeing them. It's just the value doesn't stop just at the campaigns and the multiplayer. It is one hell of a package. Definitely worth picking up. I mean, am I going to say you should go out and buy an Xbox One for it? Maybe. I mean, if you really liked Halo and you've been disenfranchised with Microsoft over the moves they made, first on with the Xbox One that they've all kind of reneged on at this point, and you're not really having anything to play on PlayStation 4 and all your buddies and girlfriends and whatever going to get Master Chief Collection, it may be time to jump on the bandwagon.
Listen, the best way to just squash that shit, because if you're still hung up on it, you know what? Get the fuck over it.
Right. At this point in time, it's over. I mean, you can buy an Xbox One right now for what?
$350 without a Connect.
$350.
And you can get the Assassin's Creed bundle where you get Black Flag and Unity for $350. People, just do it.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah, the Kinect won't be there to spy on you, and you can play your games offline. I mean, all that stuff is over.
My 2 cents for that is, if you want an entertainment center, if you want a console that is just strictly entertainment, go with an Xbox One. If you want something that's just strictly gameplay and doesn't focus on the watch your TV here, like the Xbox One. Go with a PS4. That's it.
Yeah, but if you want to be a badass, get all of them. If you want to be an entertainment Buddha, get all of them. I mean, if you can't get all of them, go get a fucking job, right?
Exactly.
I mean, come on. What is all this brand loyalty shit, people? I mean, what fanboyism? I used to be one of you. I used to stand up for Apple over Android or Sony over Microsoft. They don't give a shit, okay?
They just want your money.
Yeah, no one at Microsoft cares if you defend their platform and say you'll never buy Sony because you hate Sony. They don't care. All right, so let's just enjoy gaming, people. Let's just enjoy our passion.
I'm gonna quote my husband on this. You can't necessarily be a gamer if you only play on like one console and it's the same game for like 20 hours. You have to diversify it. You have to experiment.
I mean, a lot of those people, they miss out on great experiences because they're just being fuddy-duddies for no reason. I mean, and this is me. I kind of like, I break it down in some sort of pretend psychology here because I have no credentials in the psychiatric fields, but I almost think that the people that tend to get the most chapped over brands are the ones that maybe can't afford to own them all. You know what I mean?
I agree. I mean,
it's almost like their subconscious is speaking out like, well, I can't have them both, but this guy can, so I'm going to try to shit on him because he likes the Xbox.
I haven't finished the piece on it yet, but at some point I will finish a piece on my experience like in the gaming world.
Oh, I'm sure it's much more colorful than just being a white man like myself.
And I mean, some of the snide comments that I've gotten just because I've worn a shirt. I have a Titanfall shirt. This was just around the time it was still a couple months after the whole PS4, Xbox One thing. I mean, there were two guys just like trying to rip me a new one, all because I was wearing a Titanfall shirt. And then
what was their reason? I mean, what were they saying? Like, was it more because you're a girl or because you were supporting an Xbox game?
Well, one, it was me being a girl because they were testing my knowledge. They thought that I was just wearing a shirt just to wear the shirt. And once they actually engaged in a conversation with me and realized that, oh shit, like, wait a minute, wait, you've played on a PlayStation and a PlayStation 2 and you have a PS4 and you have a 3DS and you have a Wii U. I mean, I have a Vita. I mean, I have it all. I mean, me and my husband have worked very hard to have the system.
Damn straight. And good for you. And so have I. I mean, that's why we work. I mean, we don't work to retire. We work to spend all our fucking money now so we die poor.
And just the fact that they were just like, oh, well, you should get a PS4 because of this and this. I'm like, yeah, and I have a PS4 and I have like all of 2 games and I have an Xbox One and I have all of 2 games for it. Like,
yeah,
what's your point here? I mean, and they're college kids. I mean, they're young kids, and I think that's another thing that.
I love. I mean, you know my real profession, and I teach in computer science, so obviously I'm typically going to get more of the geeky type of nerdy person. And we always try towards the end of the class hint at my love for gaming, and usually they'll stick around and chat with me. But yeah, they're all still quite jaded now. And I really do think it's because I think deep down they probably wouldn't mind to own all the consoles and everything. They know they can't afford it, so why not try to piss on the competition?
Yeah, I mean, I know one of the jabs that they were trying to take was, oh, but it's like $500 for the Xbox One and you have to have the Kinect and, you know, it's like 500 gigs. And I'm like, yeah, and?
Yeah.
But you can't, they were trying to say something about like the quality too of like, well, it's frames per second this and frames per second
I'll give them that, but honestly, I don't think there's a human out there that could really tell the difference between 900p and 1080p. I don't. Now, frame rate, yes, a 60 FPS versus a standard 30 FPS, there is a noticeable difference, without a doubt. But the whole resolution gates and all that stuff, it is odd. But you know what? I've kind of bought into it myself, so I don't know what the fuck I'm even talking about right now, because going into this generation, I was 360 all the way. I mean, that was all multi-platform games, Xbox 360. I didn't even have to think about it. I enjoyed the PS3. I owned it, loved the exclusives, but 360 multi-platform all the way. So I was going to carry that forward into the Xbox One and PS4 era. But then you start getting like, well, PS4 is getting this content and it's guaranteed going to have this frame rate and this resolution and blah, 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 blah. And then you have, the great sharing features with the screenshots and the live streams. And being a reviewer, it is nice to be able to take screenshots of stuff that you want to talk to. Yeah. So naturally, I've been using the PS4 as my review platform for multi-platform titles. But it's not like I'm sitting here shitting on my Xbox One. I mean, yeah, it's still there. I'm not using as much as I thought I would for multi-platform games.
Right, and I had a couple games for it, but that happened. I didn't use the PS4 a whole lot either, because the only game that I had really gotten for it was Assassin's Creed Black Flag, because of the exclusive content for Sony.
Arr!
And I did that, and then I'm like, well, I don't.
Damn, you brought that game up, and now I can't get those damn shanties out of my head. That's like one of my favorite things. Oh, Billy Rider, oh, Billy Lou. They're fantastic.
Yeah. And then with the Xbox One, it was
Drunken Sailor.
What was it? Yeah. I sang that one time when I was on a canoe in a lake, and my friend just looked at me like I was.
Were you actually drunk?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. You're trying to embody what it would be like to be a pirate. Yeah.
I break out into song and dance a lot. I mean, that's just kind of my thing.
Yeah, why not?
And shanties just happens to be one of
shanties are fucking rad. I mean, I actually I downloaded the shanties just to listen to them.
Yeah. So that was one of the instances all because of wearing a shirt, and then what started off as a heated debate then turned into an educational conversation, and then after that point they didn't really talk to me after that.
No, yeah, and you're right, because I mean, honestly, a lot of times these angry gamers and angry geeks, they may be troubled at home, troubled with their relationships. Who knows why they're so angry? And sometimes if you just talk to them with reason, and you don't act like them in return, you don't bite their head off or make fun of them, they usually lose all the wind in their sail, and they're like, well, I'm not getting a rise out of this person, so blah, blah. Nope. Like, I had a guy in my stream 2 nights ago, just nonstop, like, why is everyone watching him? He sucks. IGN's played all this. He's on easy. What a loser. And I was just sitting there killing him with kindness to the point where he probably got bored trying to be a troll and just dropped out. Right. And everyone else on the chat basically came to my aid. They're like, hey, you piece of shit, and blah, blah, blah. And then, they got salty with each other, which isn't right either. But a lot of times these haters, if you just don't give them the reaction they're looking for, they'll shut up very quickly. And they may even listen to you.
Yeah.
So that was one of our more infamous Budacast tangents we just went on there. So that's pretty fun. We were talking about Halo the Master Chief Collection. Yeah. Somehow we got into fanboyism and all that fun stuff. But so just to move on, just last thing on Halo Master Chief Collection, comes out Tuesday, November 11th for the Xbox One, $60. You're going to be looking at, if you get it on a disc, you're going to be looking at about a 15 gig day one patch or upgrade or update, if you will. If you download it, you're going to be looking around at a total download of about 60 to 65 gigabytes.
Whoa.
For me, when I downloaded the 15 gig patch, and I remember this is during the review period, so there could have been some wonky stuff going on. And I was an idiot and actually turned off my Xbox One, not just put it to sleep, but actually turned it off so it couldn't download during standby. It took almost a day to download the entire 15 gigs, like the entire multiplayer content. So just be wary. If you're getting it digitally, make sure you can pre-download it so you don't have to wait for that. Then you just got to download the patch once the game unlocks. Well, digitally it unlocks suckily for us on the East. They always unlock at 3 a.m. our time.
3 a.m.
Yeah. So a lot of times I'll just get the traditional disc so I can go out and get it right at midnight.
Yep.
But I already have it, so I'll be sitting my fat ass in here getting ready for the world to come online, so I have people to play with. Sorry, yes, you guys can hate me. I'm an asshole. All right, so let's move on to another recent Xbox One exclusive, and that's Sunset Overdrive from Insomniac. So this is Insomniac's first Microsoft exclusive, I believe, because they've always been a Sony studio. And, you know, you look at the commercials, you look at the advertising, and you may be quick to dismiss Sunset Overdrive because it does. It looks like it literally looks like someone opened up a computer program, dumped in some energy drinks, threw in some punk music, you know, maybe some hairspray and tattoos, shook it up and said, here's a video game.
I'm gonna stop you for like just a couple seconds. And fans of Entertainment Buddha, I just want you to go through some of the previous podcasts and just listen to the excitement in my voice, and just know that I've been a supporter of this from the minute it was announced. Yeah. So then when everyone else started to come around, I did the I told you so. I had my moment.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Anna, I was one because I got to see it at E3, got to touch it a little bit. And I loved the passion with the Insomniac team. I mean, you could tell this was their new baby. They believed in it wholeheartedly, and that was infectious. But I was looking at the game and the gameplay. I'm just going, I don't know if this is going to hold up for an entire game. I just grinding and bouncing, and you know, it's not really a real shooter. You got to be up in the air to kill people efficiently. But the moment I fired it up, the full version, and probably within an hour, 2 hours, when I finally mastered the unique gameplay, I completely and thoroughly enjoyed Sunset Overdrive. I thought it was a fantastic campaign. It's kind of got that Saints Row type of humor where the campaign is just so outrageous. I mean, one of the side missions is you run into a guy who's essentially Jesse from Breaking Bad, except instead of cooking blue meth, he's making blue beer, and he says bitch and yo all the time. And you got like a LARPer faction you take on. You have these Lure of the Flies Boy Scouts. It's a really funny, clever game, and the gameplay is revolutionary. I mean, it's a whole new way to play a third-person shooter. At least I think so.
And I thought, because I watched a little bit of the stream that you did, and I'm watching you play, and I'm like, damn, I mean, I am sometimes gameplay challenged. Am I going to be able to do all this grinding and shooting and maneuvering on the rails and, you know, wires and everything?
Well, it took a while. Don't worry, I practiced before I let people watch me play. Because the first time I fired it up, it does. Your brain has to get used to. You do not want to be on the ground taking on the enemy horde. You want to be up in the air, bouncing off of cars, shooting down at them all the time.
But it becomes so easy to do. It becomes the easiest thing to do. And I love the fact that you can, you know, make your weapons a little bit more powerful with your style.
Oh, and the weapons are great. I mean, they definitely brought a little Ratchet and Clank to the series with some of the weapons. I don't know which ones you picked up, but I got one called the Dude. And it literally shot exploding bowling balls at people.
Yeah, I got the Dude. I've loved it, and I'm like, the Dude, and I'm like, is this what I think it is? And when you hit the little demonstration button and you see that it's shooting bowling balls, I'm like, yes.
No, it's great. I mean, there's a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor. It's got a very, I equate it to, I almost think the characters look like they're from Guitar Hero. Right. You know what I mean? They're cartoony, but they're not animated, but they're not like lifelike. They just have a very distinct look to them.
Yeah, I like the humor is very. Some of the visuals is kind of it reminds me of Lollipop Chainsaw, and the like cutscenes, like with the words and how it just like appears.
Oh, it's definitely like it literally is a game fueled by Overdrive. I mean, or Overcharge. I mean, it is cracked out, but it's a good cracked out.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of game that you want to just play and not think about. I mean, the campaign it's not really hard. There isn't really anything intricate to it. Like, this is just the type of game you put in.
Yeah, exactly.
Grind, and you shoot.
Because there is no difficulty setting. It is what it is. I mean, it's not like you can play on easy, hard, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I had so much fun playing this game, and I did a couple streams on it too, and I think at one point I got like a 300 kill streak. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, it is fun. I mean, it's definitely something people, Xbox One owners or people thinking about. Here is my tip. Write this down. This is the pro tip of the day, the Entertainment Buddha pro tip of the day. If you like what we've been saying about Halo the Master Chief Collection, if you like what we've been saying or what you've been seeing about Sunset Overdrive, and you have been on the fence about getting an Xbox One, get your ass to the store right now and buy the Sunset Overdrive white Xbox One bundle just in time for Master Chief to come out on Tuesday. You can't beat it. You're going to get Sunset Overdrive, you're going to get a bitchin' looking Xbox One, and you're going to have the platform for Halo the Master Chief Collection.
Hell, if you don't want to get a white Xbox and you don't even want to have a black one and you want to fork over the extra $100, try to find yourself the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare
Yeah, that's
edition.
a good-looking console, too. I mean, that's a themed console, too, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a themed console, but you get 1 terabyte of memory. So
no shit. Like, they upgraded the hard drive, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So with that one, you're paying for a limited.
Well, there you go. Now that's something sometimes that chaps my ass with Microsoft, and they were the worst with the 360. I mean, how many fucking versions of the 360 were ultimately released, right? You had the white one, then you had the white one with the Falcon board, then you had the black one, then you had the black one with a better board, then you had the slim. It's like, come on, guys, just fucking pick one design and go with it.
Even now with the 360, when they announced the Xbox One and then they redesigned the 360 and they've released it in that blue color.
Again. I mean, so it's coming. I mean, Anna just said right there, they're already releasing Xbox Ones with a better hard drive in it.
I mean, and Halo fans, I'm just saying, if you really wanted to upgrade because you want a terabyte memory, like 1 terabyte, I'm like, just hold out until next year because I'm pretty sure a Halo 5 limited edition console is coming out.
I'm calling it right now. So, I mean, you can take it to the bank. If there is going to be a Halo 5 themed console or a Halo themed console, I'm buying it.
Yeah, we're getting that. Well, my husband, we have 2 360s.
Well, of course. I mean, you can't both be gamers and not have your own consoles. It doesn't happen.
My husband's console is the Halo 4 limited edition 360.
Nice.
And mine is the Gears of War.
Ooh, the red one?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
That was the one that came out with Gears of War 3, right? Yeah,
yes.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, if you really want to get an Xbox One, get it. But if you are waiting for a specific theme or you like limited edition stuff, get the Call of Duty console or wait until next year because I'm pretty sure Halo 5 is going to have a limited edition console. And it's probably going to be the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Good tip.
Going to want it.
So that's it. Just a little thing on Sunset. If our conversation is enough to sell you, hit up entertainmentbuddha.com, search Sunset Overdrive, read the review. I had glowing words for it. I think I gave it a 90 or something, 89. But yeah, good game. So we want to transition into this week's big release, and a couple things I want to frame around this. One, and Anna, I'm interested in your opinion, but does it not feel like this COD, the hype train was kind of lessened? Did you get it at a midnight launch, or did you get day 0?
Well, I did not do midnight, and I did manage to find a day 0 edition. Because I picked up the game yesterday. So I was surprised that they still had day 0 editions.
Yeah, so that right there, that's proof in the pudding right there.
But when my husband was at Target yesterday or Wednesday, I can't remember what day, there they only had 5 left, and then they still had a bunch of just the regular copies. So I'm pretty sure people went out and bought the Day Zero edition. I probably
Well,
just
here's
depends
my
on the
point.
retailer that you're
If you
going
look
to.
the years past, what is one of the first news bulletins you get the day after a Call of Duty release?
Oh, is how many
Activision sets
fucking
new
units.
record, sells $500 million worth of Call of Duty in 24 hours. I have not seen that press release.
Nope. I
don't know if it was the whole Advanced Warfare or if the fatigue has finally kicked in with Call of Duty, but
I think
I don't think this one was nearly as popular as in years past.
And I agree. I think there's 2 things. One, you mentioned is the fact that they've gone the Advanced Warfare route, where it's, what new way could they possibly reinvent the game? And then maybe fans may have felt a little hurt that Kevin Spacey, that maybe some of the advertising was featured around him and like, ooh, we've got this big actor.
Oh yeah, that's like what didn't Ted Benson's have an issue with that like many casts ago?
Yeah, it's like, a game is a game. A game is not a movie. But I mean, if you look at the trend of games right now, they are taking a more cinematic route. The writing is getting better. It's just something you can't avoid right now. When there's a trend and it goes. But I mean, I played like 20 minutes of it, and I'll say it's probably some of the funnest time.
Yeah, I mean, I hope those of you listen, I hope it didn't come off as like I hate Call of Duty. I actually really enjoy Call of Duty, and I look forward every year to playing the Call of Duty campaign. I love Call of Duty campaigns. And this one looks fantastic, no? I mean, it looks fantastic.
I mean, if there's... I'll just give you a little insight about me. I'm 85% of the time, I'm very optimistic about everything. It doesn't matter what it is.
You're the complete opposite of me. I live my life glass half empty, 100%.
I mean, when it comes to games,
glass half empty.
When it comes to games, I'm always just very, positive about it and very optimistic about it because I always want to, give it a fair shot, and I don't necessarily want to judge a game right away. But Call of Duty Advanced Warfare was something that I was excited for because I think this probably would have been the game to maybe breathe new life into the franchise, only because some of the things that your I don't even know what they call it. That's how I don't know what it is. It's like an exosuit, whatever.
Yeah, that's good.
Armor, whatever. It just gives you these different abilities. Like you can jump higher. Like
I like what you can do with all the grenades now. Like how one grenade's basically like a Swiss Army knife, and you can set the different explosive types and.
That was the coolest thing ever.
Damn it, you're getting me. I mean, I'm looking at my copy right now with the fucking cellophane still on it because I've been busting my ass trying to get Halo ready to review, and I've not been able to play it. And now I'm like, shit, this is what I'm doing this weekend.
I threw my grenade, and at first I'm like, but I threw it like a little to the left, not to the right, and I think it went seeking the enemies.
Totally.
So you threw it, and it just went where the bodies were, and I'm like, what the fuck? Just threw another one, and I threw another one.
Just blind toss those babies out.
I love it. And then there's another grenade now that if they throw a smoke grenade, you throw it's like almost like a pulse grenade, and you can see them, so they're like all in red,
but behind cover.
Pop, pop, pop,
I mean, it's. Damn it. I'm going to play it right now while we're casting.
And I love
you can hear the plastic still on it and everything.
I love the double jump that you can do. Like it and almost like part of it feels like a Call of Duty game, part of it doesn't. And one of the really cool features is when you have to grapple down on the lines, and you have to do LT and then RT and then you have to move. The really cool feature now is like you can drop down, and if you hit the X button, it's almost like a little like jetpack, or so you can kind of like glide down. Like if you just jump out of like a building, like they telling you to like jump.
Well, yeah, I saw
down.
Taylor Kitsch do it on the commercial.
Yeah, it was so fun, and I'm like, you know what? I dig this. I really dig this. It's different.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised that you're saying it's fun. I mean, like I said, I think Call of Duty campaigns, as ridiculous as they are sometimes, I look forward to them every year, especially on Veteran, because I'm an asshole and I like to get upset and scream and yell and sometimes bite myself.
The cutscenes, though, I mean, I was like, am I watching a movie? Like, this is...
Did you get it on 4 or 4 of the 1? Okay.
The 1 for Xbox One. I mean, just what they did with motion capture, my only gripe is the mouth. Like, when they talk, it just... Something just doesn't look right, but that's just...
Is it not synced, are you saying? Or it's just something visually is weird?
Visually, it's weird. It's synced, but it's almost like if someone is saying like a P or an L, or there's like an emphasis on a certain syllable, like it just doesn't look right. I'm like, with all of this technology, with all of the little dots and the camera, like you couldn't get the lips right. You couldn't just get that right. But that's just...
You heard it here, folks.
Like
she hates the lips in Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So if you're into lips and lip syncing, you may want to steer clear of this game.
That's just me yelling at the TV. I'm like, come on. Like they're talking.
Say your fucking P's right.
Really?
Say your fucking P's right.
I'm like, open your mouth and talk properly.
Pronounce your P's.
So yeah. Well, that was me yelling when I was playing Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I'm like, this is so gorgeous, and there's Kenway coming out of the water, and I'm like, what the fuck is up with his hair? It doesn't even look wet. It doesn't even look like it's done anything.
Yeah, he had a Brillo pad on his hair. It was a blonde Brillo pad. That's what it looked like. So again, 85% of the time, very optimistic when it comes to gaming. The other 15%. But if they jack up the hair and the lip movements, watch out.
I'm coming.
Well, cool. Well, you definitely have convinced me to start Call of Duty probably tonight or tomorrow. We'll see how fast I can rip through it, because it'll be right on to the next game next week.
I mean, and with the campaign, I can't imagine that it's like an 8-hour campaign. I probably at most like 6 hours, depending on the difficulty that you play it. But I'm pretty sure this campaign you might be able to breeze through it. But then again, you never know, because you got Kevin Spacey, so you don't know how much campaign he's involved in. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's the bad guy. Not that I've played that far, but something about that tells me he's the bad guy.
Yeah, well, it's more than likely.
But he's really good at that.
Yeah. No, I'm excited, so I'm definitely going to throw that up. So thanks for the little recap there. All right, so we're approaching the end, but I want to do a little kind of veer away from the video game space, because we are entertainment Buddhas, for that matter. We're not just locked into gaming. Actually, I had someone on the stream ask me last night. He just said, entertainment Buddha ? Like, where'd that come from? And I came from sitting in a corporate office dreaming of a better life for myself, and I was trying to think, I love geeky stuff. I love video games predominantly. I mean, that's one of my favorite. But I also like movies and TV and comics and geek art and web gems. So I didn't want to go with a site that was just purely gaming oriented, like gamer this or gaming that or gamey. So I'm thinking there, okay, Buddha, he is the enlightened one. Okay, that makes sense. You throw in entertainment in front of it, so you're saying entertainment Buddha? Okay, so we're essentially the enlightened ones of all entertainment. So that's why we're going to transition into a little movie talk right now on this Buddhacast. And if you couldn't tell by the title, which again is The Master Chief is Interstellar, we're going to talk about Chris Nolan's new flick that just came out today, and I got to see in New York fucking City. Yes, I got to go to the official premiere where the celebs were there. Mr. Nolan was there. I found out now that I really can't talk in detail about the after party and all this fun stuff. But let me tell you, for a little guy running an indie site, it was one hell of an experience. It has validated some of the work I've been doing. But overall, let's get to the good part. Let's get to the movie itself. Okay, so Interstellar is without a doubt a Christopher Nolan film. It's going to make you think. It's going to be big. There's going to be huge scenes. It's going to be loud. There's going to be great uses of audio. And it's just, good character, good dialogue. What got me with it is if you watch all the previews and whatever, you kind of have an idea of what you think it's going to be about. But then after you watch it for almost 3 hours, by the way, it morphs into a completely different genre of film. And by the time you get to the end, you feel like you've been to a class that Einstein just gave on the theory of relativity. You feel like you've been on some sort of amazing adventure. I mean, you almost come out fatigued. This is a movie you have to go to with friends so you can talk to people at the end, because this isn't just those dumbass dramas where it's like, okay, beginning, middle, something happens in the middle, they fix it by the end, everyone, Miller time at the end, let's go home and everyone's happy. This film, there's some really deep science in it, and there's some scenes where you're going to go, what the fuck was this guy smoking? Is he talking to some entity that we don't know exists? Has he found the fifth dimension? Has he been to a wormhole? Because, there's just some stuff in there that you just go, wow, that is some deep ass shit. And you need to bounce it off other people's heads to see if you're either dumb, if your theories are insane, or if you're on the same page.
Like, I want to see the movie, and I just, you and like what everyone else has been saying, it's really good, and all of that stuff. But when I watch the trailer, I'm like, okay, there's his daughter who's got like red hair, and then there's Jessica Chastain who's grown and got like red hair, and I'm like, is that his daughter? I'm like, and I've read nothing about it.
I guess that's my point. You're making a good point, because
like I don't want to like spoil anything for myself, but like that's what I took away from that. Like, he goes away and he does something, but like I don't know, he doesn't come back or something because she's looking for him. But then I'm like, but wait, there's a little girl with red hair.
Yeah. You see, you're picking up on a little bit of it. Not to get into it, but if people understand the theory of relativity and how time and space function, yeah. Again, I don't want to say anything. And there's also a cameo in there that it's unbelievable that it has not leaked. I'm sure it's kind of out there now because a lot of the press has been seeing the movie and other people. But there's almost a little bit more than halfway through, you run into this cameo character and you're like, how the fuck did they hide that this dude was involved in this project?
So is it like Interstellar meets Inception?
Yeah, sort of. There's just an actor in there who's a very big, well-known actor. And typically, he's or she is someone you would think would be on the movie poster. Like
right.
Matthew McConaughey, Anne Hathaway, Jessica Chastain, Michael Caine. And then it just says guest actor, literally. And it's brilliant because, somehow they managed to hide it. And when I saw this scene, I was like, what the fuck?
I think that's amazing. I just want to point out that I think it's amazing that in a movie that has a big actor or actress and you don't even know who they are, good job, internet.
I know. It was dumbfounding. I have no clue how they figured that out or how they kept that hidden.
Yeah, good job.
Sorry, this is a super tangent. But I've upgraded all my Apple devices to their newest operating systems, which means my Mac now works as a phone, my iPad now works as a phone, as well as my phone. So right? I had my phone turned off, but because it's here and everything else is on, I literally just had my Mac and 2 iPads just start making these little do noises at me, and it kind of freaked me out a little bit. So
That happened when after I did what upgrade? I was on my iPad.
Yeah, it's the Yosemite upgrade on the Mac, but then if you upgrade the iOS 8.1 and you have an iPhone and on the same network, you can literally field calls from your iPad.
Yeah. I think I was like in the middle of a game or something, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Why is my brother calling me? Stop calling me. I want to get back to my game.
What the fuck's going on here? So sorry, do you remember where the hell you were at? Because I'm lost.
Just, the internet.
Oh, yeah. Not leaking that out.
On that not being spoiled. And, it just really shows that I guess if people, if a movie's being made and you have people around you that are truly respecting what you're doing, I think things like that don't leak out and things like that don't happen. But sometimes some of these things are just, they're on purpose. Ooh, like whatever Star Wars photo leaked. Like, some of that is just kind of like...
Speaking of Star Wars, what do you think about the title? Did you see that?
I
Force Awakens.
I like it.
I dig it.
Again, I dig it. 85% optimistic.
There you go.
So I'm going with that.
This is one project that I think I will be wearing my optimism hat for, and not because I really believe in J.J. Abrams. I've liked him. We talked the last time, and I've liked him since his days on TV with Alias and Lost and all that shit. And he did a great job with Star Trek. So I have full belief that Episode 7 is going to be amazing. So anyways, we've kind of been chewing your ear off here, geeks. We're going to do a little talk on The Walking Dead, but the more I think about it, I think we'll do a special episode once the mid-season finale takes place, which is probably going to be in another week or two. Because it's so far, I don't know about you, Anna, but it's been fantastic. It's been overly violent, like probably the most violent season I've seen yet.
I'm just gonna say it's been on motherfucking point, and if anybody else listening has read the comic and they know what's going on, it's just like about fucking time.
Rick Grimes is a bad dude. I mean, that guy's a bad motherfucker.
When I was reading the comic and then just seeing the church scene play. So
that was from the comic? Okay.
Yeah. Really quick spoiler, I guess.
Spoiler alert.
So Bob tainted meat. Like that was straight out of the comic, but
it was another guy, another survivor.
It was Dale.
Oh, who was spoiler, who's been dead for a while.
Spoiler. Yeah, Dale, who's been dead for a while. In the comic book, that's exactly what happened to him. They got to the church. Him and Andrea are in a relationship. So they got to the church. He went out to pee. He got kidnapped. He woke up. His leg was missing. They were eating his leg. And then at that point, he does the whole, tainted meat thing.
Yeah.
And no one, and even reading the comic, like whatever happened to him up until that point, you didn't even know that he was bit. So, well done. No,
I've been enjoying it. But we'll definitely do like a recap once the mid-season kicks in.
Yeah. I can talk comparisons, but I won't bore anyone.
No, I like it. We'll just, like I said, we've already been going for I think over an hour now, and I know our fans may not have, except for Farsender. Shout out to our boy,
shout out
homie.
to him.
He's basically the EB mascot cheerleader at this point in time. I know he's going to be listening, so here's your shout out for this episode, brother. Send him an EB care package, so now he's got the gear, the hat, the swag. But anyways, good talk, Anna. I think we covered some great stuff on Halo Master Chief Collection. Remember, that drops November 11th. If you're cheap, poor, or you like winning stuff, we are giving a free copy away. Let me repeat that. We are giving a free copy away, and we are not IGN, Joystick, Kotaku, Game Informer, so there's not going to be a million people to compete with. Right now, you probably have a 1 in 700 fucking chance to win the Master Chief Collection for free. All you have to do is like our Facebook, like our Twitter, and obviously like my Twitter, because I'm the one that's fronting all the money for these giveaways, and I want to feel special.
Yeah. So, long story short, like, follow, enter, possibly
just sign
win.
up for it. It's not going to hurt you. I promise you, you'll like our content. I mean, I'm telling you, people on the streams, they're like, who are you? Why do you have this game? I explained it. They checked the site out, and they're all like, hey, this is pretty great. I can find stuff easy. I don't get lost. There's not ads everywhere. Trust me, we are here for you. We are an indie site. There is no Gamergate bullshit here. There's no collusion. There's no deals with publishers or corporations, because we are indie. We are amateur. Well, I'm not going to say we're amateur shit. We've been doing this for a long time. We kick ass. There you go. Yes, I'm pounding my chest. Go EB. EB for life.
Yep.
But anyway, so go to entertainmentbuddha.com, bottom right corner. You can sign up for Halo the Master Chief Collection giveaway. Probably tomorrow I'm going to throw up a giveaway for Call of Duty motherfucking Advanced Warfare, because that's how we roll. I give out shit all the time. We gave out Sunset Overdrive. We gave out Starpoint Gemini 2. We're giving out Master Chief Collection. Now I'm giving out COD. Come on, get with it. Follow. Love us.
Yep.
Please, I'm begging you. I don't know why I have to beg, but I am, and I'm embarrassed right now.
Listen. I gotta work with this guy. I don't want to hear him beg.
These people,
just do it.
some days when I get down, I just get in the Skype chat and I do nothing but woe is me moments. They don't want to deal with that shit.
Listen.
Make us feel special.
Yeah. If he's like Tinkerbell.
Yes,
he needs applause.
you got it. Yeah.
He needs applause.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
There you
I
go.
can feel it. So anyways, anything you want to plug or wrap up before we go, Anna?
Just you can follow me on Twitter at Febzilla. Just tune in to Entertainment Buddha's Twitch page. There's a few of us that are going to be doing a couple streams, current games, retro games. Come watch, chat with us. If you have any questions, we're
here to have fun on our streams. I mean, none of us are claiming to be pros. I know Raymond is somewhat of a speed runner. But he keeps that on his own channel. Maybe one day when he gets comfortable, he'll come and show off his speedrunning skills on our channel. But we're there to have fun.
You can follow his page, Wu-Tang.
Yeah, the motherfucking Wu-Tang.
Yeah, and you can follow his page and watch him speedrun. It's pretty fun watching him doing his little glitches and stuff.
He does love glitches.
Yeah, but
all right, cool. Well, again, I'm Matt Haywood. Follow me on Twitter at Matt R. Haywood, MattrHeywood. You got at Ant Buddha, and you know what? Why have me throw all these ats at you? Just go to entertainmentbuddha.com. At the top in the menu, click on that little share icon. You'll see our social networks. If that's too difficult, you can scroll down the page on the right side. You'll see our social networks. You can follow our Flipboard magazine, which is a great way to consume our content if you like the Flipboard app. You can hit our Twitch. You can find the Buddhacast. So get with it. We need you. We'll give you free stuff. But anyways, yes, we do.
You.
It's been real. Make sure to go to the site on a daily basis, because you know what we do. We make you a better geek, one post at a time. Bye for now.
Boom.
I lost my mouse. I can't stop the recording. I'm sure Jim will keep that shit.